And welcome back once again to Everyman Driver. I am your host, Dave Erickson. Thanks so much for watching. This week I've been driving and reviewing the 2014 Hyundai Tucson, which comes in 3 trim levels, and in front wheel or all-wheel drive, I have the Limited and all-wheel drive. Coming up on this episode, we'll take a closer look at the cargo room and trunk space, backseat legroom and headroom, and I'll tell you some of the areas I think Hyundai needs to improve on to make this a more competitive vehicle in the compact crossover segment. But first, let's get started by going under the hood. You have 2 powertrain options under the hood for the Tucson in 2014, either a 2-liter 4-cylinder or a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder, each mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. I have the larger of the 2. As far as performance, my tester here gets 182 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque, and regardless of which powertrain you go with, each features gasoline direct injection. Now, fuel economy estimates on my tester here, the all-wheel drive, is only 20 city, 25 highway. If you want the best fuel economy possible on a Tucson, go with the GLS in front-wheel drive. It's rated at 21-28. Now, this week in mixed driving, I've only been able to achieve about 19.5 miles per gallon. Here's a look at your real-world legroom and headroom here in the back of the Tucson. And first off, I should tell you, I am 5'11", and I have been for 25 plus years, haven't grown since, and I don't plan on growing anytime soon. Here's how much room I have between my knees and the back of the driver's seat, and this was my position as a driver. So this is what I would look like sitting behind myself in terms of legroom. I have much better headroom back here. I can get a full fist between my head and the roof line, so that is good, better than your legroom. You have 4 O-blank handles all the way around. In fact, 2 more by the driver and passenger, so in case it does get bumpy, they can lean forward and hang on to that. You do have some netting behind the driver and passenger seat for some storage of magazines. You have cup holders in both the side passenger doors. And new for 2014, Hyundai calls it their 2-stage reclining 60-40 split rear seat. In simplest terms, it reclines. You lift this latch right here, and I can lean back a couple inches. Only downside is there is no seat travel, so you can't really adjust how much room you have for your knees. You do have this fold-down armrest with 2 places for cups, so that is good and somewhat comfortable. Although they do say this is a 5-passenger compact crossover, I think it will be a little bit tight if you had 3 of me back here side by side. Let's go now to the cargo room and trunk space. You have 2 ways to open the trunk lid of the 2014 Tucson. Once the vehicle is unlocked, you can press the black button here just below the Hyundai icon. Otherwise, there's a button here on the key fob. Press that. Problem is, it won't open automatically. You have to do it manually. Once it is open, you've got 25.7 cubic feet of volume behind this back row of seats, which is plenty of room. In fact, I brought my tape measure because I wanted to show you at its widest, this is about 45 inches. So you can get some pretty good size stuff in here. I brought 2 pieces of luggage to show you what this looks like. You can see that fits just fine with a large size and a carry-on size, even stacking them on top of each other. And you can see you can get twice as much back here. I'll take these out. And just below your floorboard is where you'll find your spare tire and jack kit. Now you can increase the cargo room by 30 more cubic feet to 55.8 by pushing down the back row of seats. Once those are flush, you can see how much room you have to lay larger items, some pieces of plywood, which I have done, a bicycle back here with its front wheel on, which I have done as well. So ample amount of cargo room for some storage in this compact crossover. Some of the new exterior enhancements for 2014 include projector headlights with LED accents, LED taillights, a shark fin antenna on the Limited trim only, and roof side rails with a panoramic sunroof. The rails I have, the panoramic I don't. Let's talk some ride and handling now. This is a very firm and stiff ride. I wish it was a little bit more comfortable. The steering, unimpressive, doesn't really stand out, not a big deal. And I do like the fact that it's very nimble around town. It's a small vehicle, so it helps, getting in and out of tight parking places and maneuvering around obstacles, if you will. And I found that this is very exciting and encouraging. This was a killer when it comes to off-road capability. It's got hill descent, traction control, those kind of things. I want you to look for my video already posted on Everyman Driver of my off-road drive in this. It was just, I was really, really impressed considering the class of vehicle, the category it's in. It really, is in there with the mix of some of those larger SUVs that I've driven. Inside, I'm okay with this overall interior. It looks very plain and simple. Only thing I don't like, well, actually a couple of things, is that the center stack is not driver-centric. And they have new for 2014 this 4.3-inch LCD touchscreen. 4.3 inches is super small. You can upgrade to a 7-inch. Unfortunately, my tester does not have that. It does have a backup camera, which is also standard for 2014, but 4.3 inches, it is just super tiny. I don't know if it's just how this overall presentation is. It makes it look smaller. I've used a measuring tape, but I can tell you that it is 4.3 inches. Let's do that right now. This is kind of minor, but I think ladies will recognize this. When you pull down the sun visor and slide open the mirror, there's no automatic light. You have to manually turn the light on if you want some light when you're checking up your makeup or see if you have anything in your eyes. I thought it was kind of surprising that that's not on here. And it does not come standard with a sunroof. Otherwise, my tester would have one. So that's a little disappointing. Also standard and new for 2014 is a Bluetooth hands-free phone system and steering wheel mounted audio controls. Very convenient and finally up to date with what everyone else is doing. The beginning MSRP on the base Tucson for 2014, the GSL and front wheel drive is $21,450. My tester, the limited all-wheel drive, starts at $27,500. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 6, maybe a 7 if you factor in its off-road capability, which really surprised me earlier this week. Overall, I think it's a really good-looking car, but you have to keep in mind this is a compact crossover, and with that, you will have some sacrifices in terms of interior space and comfort. I do wish the gas mileage was better, and I'm really surprised that this LCD screen is standard at 4.3 inches. It's got to be a lot bigger than that, in my opinion. In the end, it is worth a look in a test drive. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson with Everyman Driver. Thanks for watching.